The second phase is actually what we call the saints phase. This is when the saints will often show up. So in one case, I actually had Saint Joseph actually showed up, and I didn't know that he was actually there. But every so often during the sessions, I would just see this demon like severely manifest and convulse, and you could just see the absolute horror on his face. And afterwards, I asked the woman what happened. She said, "Well, Saint Joseph appeared, and he would take his staff, and every time he would pound it on the ground, because the staff is not just a staff of correction, it's also a staff of punishment. And every time he would hit the ground with it, she said, I would just feel this absolute terror go through my entire body." So the saints will show up during that phase. And then a lot of times sometimes Our Lady and our Lord will actually show up at that stage. But then the third phase, and that's when you kind of tend to see her towards the end, before the actual liberation. Then the third part of that is we call the penitential phase. After the saints show up and everything, they know it's over. They know they're defeated. Very often what they'll do is they'll try and bargain when the saints are around, or before the saints will actually go to Christ and say, "Hey, give me this or that," and Christ says no. And so the defeat is complete interiorly. They know they're defeated, and so they're just putting in their time. They're taking their beating. They just want to put in their time to get out. And then there's the liberation. But a lot of times at the liberation, in about 70% of my cases, more or less, is actually Our Lady would actually show up, and she's the actual cause of the liberation in a variety of different ways.
Wow. And how does that manifest? Do the demons obey quickly and leave easily, or do they?
Oh yeah. There's whenever she shows up, there is immediate compliance. There's not even a discussion. There's no arguing about it. There's no battling of it. When she shows up, it's it. That's it. It's over. So when she says, like for example, in one case, Our Lady just showed up one time, and so what happened is the person who was possessed, all of a sudden they see this vision open up where the abyss just opens up, and Our Lady appears and just says to the demon, "It's time." And all of a sudden the woman just felt the demon being ripped out and going down into the abyss and closing. And so like I said, there's never any arguing or whatsoever. In fact, I don't even recall a single instance where there's conversations between Our Lord and the demons from time to time that you see in sessions, but there's never a conversation between Our Lady and the demons. It's a one-way street. She just tells them, and that's it.